Hello YouTube, this is Asiel Day, and I'm here making the next video of the day. Why is initiation so expensive? Um, I know that in our modern day and age, everyone worries about money. Money is one of the biggest things that our society has, and it's the center of the society, unfortunately. Um, why is the initiation so expensive? First of all, Orisha initiations take a lot of materials, a lot of things, and a lot of people go into any sort of initiation. The price of initiations usually range depending on the Orisha that you're being initiated into. Orishas like the warriors, Elegwagun or Chosi, for example, tend to be the most expensive of the Orishas because they take prior initiation ceremonies, they take extra animals, and they take extra things that a regular Orisha doesn't take. I know I mentioned it in another video, the Orisha Oya is also very expensive. In my opinion, a good way of looking at measuring your budget for initiation, anywhere from 5,000 to 15,000, depending on your Orisha, will range between those two prices. If you're getting charged anything beyond 15,000, in my opinion, you're probably getting ripped off. So anything less than 5,000, you're extremely lucky, and I will still look at it, and I will explain why anything less than 5,000 seems a little iffy to me also. So the prices also depend on the region and where you live. Certain areas, for example, if you have a shortage of certain animals, they're probably going to be a lot more expensive to get. And for example, here in Miami, just about everything is kind of relatively available, so the prices only tend to change a little bit during certain seasons if they're low on certain animals or something like that we can't get, and then the animals will be a little bit pricier. But for the most part, if you live in a remote area, your ceremony will definitely come out to be more expensive because there's more things that need to be gotten, and it's harder to get them because of where you're living. So big areas, big cities like Miami, for example, any pricing would usually stay between 5 to 15,000. What does all that money pay? The money that you're paying for initiation pays for the animals. Just about every single Orisha that you initiate into is going to take about a minimum of about $2,000 that are worth in animals alone. Remember that all of the Orishas that you receive in your initiation are fed a four-legged animal plus a set of feathered animals. That adds up. There's a lot of people that get lifted in initiations. For most part, I would say that the minimum amount of people that is usually needed is anywhere from 8 to 11 people per initiation. Each of those people are getting paid. They're coming to work, and different things that happen throughout the ceremony, they get handed a little envelope with money in it that pays for that activity that they're doing at that time. The more activities that a certain person does, the more they get paid. Certain people, for example, like the Oba, usually gets paid a couple of hundreds for the amount of work that they're doing in the entire day. That's another thing that goes into the money. Another thing that gets paid with the money that you're paying for initiation is the food. You will be in a house for 7 days, and you're going to be catered to. There needs to be food bought for a total of that will last for a total of 7 days. Rent of the house also has to be paid. If you were someone who, like me, who lives in an apartment and you can't really do an initiation in here, most people tend to rent a house, or they tend to rent a space in a house, and then obviously the people of the house get paid for that week of rent. The amount of materials that the Orishas take for their ceremony depends on the Orisha that's being crowned, but for the majority, they each take quite a lot of things. Anyone who has been to an initiation or who has gotten ready for an initiation knows how many materials and how many things it takes, and everything has to get paid, obviously, and everything will get paid by the money that the new initiate is providing. Um, in the old times, people would just simply trade, chicken and a bag of rice, and they would trade whatever things for the services and whatnot. But obviously nowadays, no one cares to have any of those things, and everyone just wants to receive our monetary value, which will be money, which would be dollars. Um, Initiation also has gowns. The new initiate will have two gowns that are made, one of them being the main gown. That main gown is usually anywhere from $500 up to $1,000 just for one single thing. That also comes out of the money that you're paying. So again, there's so many things that go into an Orisha ceremony that people take it for granted. The godparent gets a fee, the Yubona takes the fee, the Yoba takes the fee, everyone that's working in the ceremony, which I said it's usually a minimum of 8, anywhere from 8 to 11 people, they each get paid a certain amount of money. The animals have to be bought, materials need to be bought, Orisha supplies need to be bought, Orisha tools need to be bought. There's a lot of things, food, toiletry, rent, many things that imply that go into the price of why the ceremonies get so expensive. So again, in my opinion, any Orisha from 5,000 to maximum 15,000, you will stay within that range. I would have to say, again, when you go into the warriors and Orishas like Oya, maybe even a Sohano, Yewa, Nanaburugu, which are more mysterious Orishas, those will be the ones that will probably be towards the higher end of the scale because of their ceremonies, because of the way that they are, because they might need certain things that a regular Orisha doesn't take. For example, it is everyone knows that a regular ceremony of a Sohano, just simply receiving a Sohano by himself, will cost just about, can even reach the 5,000 because of the amount of things that he takes and the amount of difficult things that he takes to get. And that's just the way we are at today. In my opinion, if you're getting charged somewhere around that price, you're probably doing good. I would have to say, for example, most people, let's say if they're getting initiated into Yemaya, they end up paying anywhere from 7,000 to 8,500 for their initiation, and that would include everything. You, as the initiate, are responsible. Excuse me. You, as the initiate, are responsible for buying your clothing for that year. So that is apart from the money that you're giving for your initiation. Different houses work differently. In some houses, you're giving a list filled with all these things that you need to gather, and you can go on your own, and you'll just simply buy everything and put it aside until you're ready, and you need to have this much in cash and all these materials. Other houses will tell you this is how much you need to bring to the house. It gets put on top of the godparent's crown, and you set a date, and by that time, everything is purchased by the godparent. In other houses, they give you both. They let you choose, or they let you buy, and then they just simply tell you more or less whatever might be missing, whatever they guide you throughout. It doesn't matter. Whichever way the house that you belong to works, it's just the way that they work. For the majority, I personally am an advocate that the new Iyabo should purchase their own soberas or their own pots, Orisha pots and everything. They should be guided as to the size of the pots and as to more or less what they should get. But I know that there's a few houses, for example, in which the godparent buys everything, including the pots. In my opinion, that's kind of like a waste of time and money just simply because if I buy something that I like for someone's pot fortune and then they don't like it, at the end of the day they're just gonna have to spend money all over and time, whereas if they would have just purchased it from the beginning, we save all of that. So in my opinion, people just buy their own soperas and their own clothing based on the guidelines of the house, and then everything else gets purchased by the godparent. Certain houses, for example, with the money from your initiation, will also do a big party on the middle day, or the day of the middle, which is the second day of initiation. Most houses will do a bembe, or they'll do a huiro, and some houses will do drumming. Other people are of the belief that during the middle day there should be no drumming, just in case that on the third day, or the day of Rita, the Iyawo can come out to have taboo with the drums, so they don't celebrate drumming in the middle day, but they'll do it at the seventh day. But the point is that usually if your house follows that, that is usually included in the price of the initiation, the bembe or whatever big celebration they're doing on the middle day. This religion is expensive, people. Everything about this religion is expensive. I remember reading somewhere, I don't remember who said it, this is a poor man's religion with a rich man's salary, and it's the truth. Some people exploit the religion, which is what I'm against. I'm totally in accordance with charging fees for your work, for your time, for your energy, for your materials, for everything that people use, but I'm against ripping people off. There's a fine line between getting your money back and making a little bit extra cash and just straight up ripping someone off. So when it comes to initiations, again, if you are within 5,000 to 15,000, depending on your Orisha, I would say you're within the range. For example, if you're crowning Oshun and they're charging you 12,000, 13,000, I would say that that's a little steep for an Oshun ceremony. But if it's for a warrior ceremony like Ogun, Legua, or Shosi, 12,000 to 13,000 seems pretty reasonable. So get that idea. Yemaya, anywhere from 7 to 8,500. Shango, anywhere from 6 to 9,000. Oya, 9,000 to 13,000. And again, it all depends on the Orisha, it depends on the house, it depends on the region where you're at. There's many factors that play in, but usually you'll be stuck within that amount of money. It may seem like a lot of money, but it really turns down to not being so much, because when you really want something, and something as special as initiation, trust me, you'll make it happen. I see it all the time when people have no money for anything, but they get their initiation and they get everything ready. So it's expensive. It's definitely worth it in my opinion. Of course, I'm a priest. I'm going to be 15 now in less than a month. So it is what it is, you guys. I know the different other traditions like candomblé or Yoruba or traditional Yoruba, their prices might range a little bit, or they might stay more or less around, but I can't really speak for either one of those traditions since I don't practice them, and I know very little about both of them. So in the Lukumi Afro-Cuban tradition, regular initiation somewhere from 5 to 15,000 depending on your Orisha. I hope this kind of clears up a little bit of the questions about money and why it's so expensive that people have been posting and wanting me to explain. If you guys have any other questions, let me know, and I'm going to keep trying to do some other videos. So I will see you guys in the next one. Ashe, 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 To.